Next question is, what do you see as the top issues facing the city over the next 5 years?
There are a number of issues. I would say that there are 5 main issues. The first one is water, and I've just discussed water, so I won't go too much into that. Second of all is the budget. I think that's another big issue. We're faced with these huge fiscal imbalances that it took us years to get here, and it's going to take us years to get out. But when I think about big issues facing the city, facing my children and the community they will grow up in, the budget and relatedly the issue of unfunded liabilities is a big one. Third is economic development. Our community is overly reliant on UC Davis and on Sacramento for its economic vitality and its employment base, and I think that we need to make a real effort in our community to promoting economic development, but ensuring that economic development is diverse and not just focused on the university and on Sacramento. Fourth, I will say environmental sustainability. Our community has a wonderful history of environmental sustainability, and we remain a good community on that, but in many ways that star has lost its luster a bit. I think we need to recommit ourselves to environmental sustainability, toward ensuring that we get alternative sources of energy, looking into forming our own public municipal utility, look into really putting some teeth behind the idea of becoming a zero waste community, and a number of other measures. Fifth is we need to focus on providing affordable housing, specifically to young families. When you look at the demographics, when you look at the demographic changes that have occurred over the last few years, 2 things really jump out at you. One is that the 25 to 44-year-old cohort has shrunk in our community, and those are those young families that without whom our community would really wither. And second of all, you see that the 55 and over cohort, my parents' cohort, and their friends, parents of kids that I grew up with, they are growing in this community. And I think partly because folks like my parents love this community and they would love to retire here, which is wonderful, and partly because actually on the street that I live on, we have 2 families who moved to Davis actually to be closer to children of theirs who live here. And so I think we need to be sure that we are providing affordable housing both for families and that we're addressing housing needs for seniors as well. And related to that last one, we need to end homelessness in our community. Yolo County, along with all the cities, including Davis, has set this impressive and wonderful goal of ending homelessness in our community in 10 years. And I would really like to see our city really get behind that and see that happen.
Okay, so those are 5 issues there, but what are your top 2 or 3 issues that you would like to pursue if you were reelected to City Council? And furthermore, how will you solve these issues and work on those issues if you happen to be in the minority on the City Council?
That's a good question. I'll take the 2 issues. I'd say that certainly the 2 issues of those that I'd really like to focus on are the first one has to be the budget and the issue of unfunded liabilities. Again, I think that the issue of this is one of the main issues that I sought the council in the first place. One of the main reasons I'm running, and I think it would be unconscionable for the city council to not address that issue and to leave those problems to my children and to their generation. And I believe it's incumbent on us to address them. And I think we need to recognize 3 things as we do it. First of all, again, it took us years to get into this. It's going to take us years to get out. Second of all is it occurred within a fiscal paradigm that I think is no longer viable, and we need new ideas in which to address these issues. And lastly, it needs to be done in a way that is a collaboration, and that's a shared sacrifice. It can't be, for instance, balanced on the backs of employees. And it has to, everyone from the city council to public employees, to management, to the community in general, have a role to play in ensuring that we extricate ourselves from the situation that we're in. And it's, I think we need to focus on two things. The two sides of the budget ledger is we need to focus obviously on the expenditure side. We need to address personnel costs, specifically pensions and retiree health care. We need to look at having shared services with other agencies. We need to look at something which they did during the last major recession, in the 90s at least, which is forming a budget task force to really go through the budget and see where we can get savings. Lastly, we should also look at our current taxes and our current fees and see, are they the right ones? Are they at the right levels? That's the expenditure side. On the revenue side, we need to we need to focus on. Actually, the taxes, that part that's the revenue side. But in terms of other revenue measures that we need to look at, we have to make sure that the funding that we are, in terms of the funding that we get from the state, the funding that we get from the federal government, we have to make sure that we are producing the maximum amount that we can. Now, of course, there's pullbacks going on, but if you look at something like the water project, there is a real opportunity there to really get some federal funding. Now, we already have gotten some federal funding, but we can get some more. Again, of course, the taxes and fees issues is important as well. So that's the budget issue, and I'd say that the other issue that I'd really like to see us focus on is economic development. I think that there are a number of things that we can do. First of all is we need to, again, diversify our employment base. We need to make sure that we're not so tied to the University of California, Davis, and Sacramento state government for our economic vitality. I think we need to provide targeted incentives for companies to locate here. Those like what we did with Morisaki. This is what we did with Expression Systems. Third is we need to make sure that the technology that comes out of Davis is transferred to this community and stays in this community. And that's exactly what Davis Roots is all about, and that's what this university niche innovation hub idea is all about. And making sure that startups, that ideas in the laboratory become startups, and that startups stay here as businesses in not only the short term, but also the medium term and the long term. We need to get rid of red tape, and we need to make sure that the city, as a government, both at the city council level and at the city staff level, is a partner and not a hurdle to folks who want to open up and or expand businesses in our community. And lastly, on the economic development front, I think we need to focus on ensuring that our downtown remains strong, is even stronger, and remains the economic, and cultural, and social center of our community.